Okay, so we're live on Thursday night. My name's Jason. With just Jason Keto. I'm here with Andy and Hope from Mission Keto this week for our live stream. It's good to
Hello.
see you guys.
Hey, Jason.
All right. So yeah, like we were talking before, I Hope you and I had done a podcast a few months ago, so I got to know you then. I think I had just found your channel recently before that podcast. So, and now I've seen you on some other channels talking about some challenges and changes, especially with you, Andy, recently. So I wanted to sort of reach out and have you back on, and so that everybody that's in my community that doesn't know you already can get to know you, and we can get some updates and see how things are going, kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
There is quite a few people in my community that aren't necessarily keto related people. They're just from networking other channels, but everyone's here to support. So
I love it.
we can start here. We've got Carrie Leonard. Can't remember.
Hi,
I've seen
Carrie.
her before. Rushing Wind Mountain, another creator that I've connected with recently. It's good to see.
Awesome.
And then Amy Davis.
Amy.
Hey, Amy.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in.
Yes, thank you.
Just so everybody knows, I did for this live stream. I don't typically, if it's just me, but for this live stream, I did turn on subscriber only mode, just because I've seen a lot of spammers out there recently. Trying to minimize any chance of that happening while you're here, kind of thing. So if anyone's in the stream watching, it is only just for 5 minutes. So if you want to join in, you just need to be subscribed for 5 minutes, just so we can try and keep it cleaned up, kind of thing. So
Nice.
So everyone's saying hi to each other. So why don't we get started? I guess, like I say, Hope, I've caught your story, and I've got the link down in the description of to that podcast episode if anyone wants to go in and take a look at that from a few months ago. But I think, Andy, I was sort of hoping to get your sort of story and how you came to keto or whatever you're doing, and sort of what led you to making some changes in your life.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go ahead and start. So back in 2017, our oldest daughter was talking to us about keto, and we looked into it and said, let's give it a shot. And we ran with it. And, back then we didn't have all the, keto chow and all that other kind of stuff that we have today. That makes it sound like it was so long ago, but it was only a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And in that year, I lost about 76 pounds. Hope lost, how much did you lose?
It was about 45 pounds. Yeah.
And, then in 2018, just things kind of changed and went back to old habits, unfortunately, and exploded back up to the highest I'd ever been, which I weighed myself this past year. I was in June of 2022, I was 369 pounds. And I said, whoa. And Hope had already started keto again. And, she was already kind of doing the thing. And she was like, oh, do this with me. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it this time. And when I weighed myself that day, I said, whoa, I got to make a change. So we had already been looking into the BBBE diet.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I think I could do that. And so July 1st of last year, I started it day one. And in that first month, I lost 30 pounds. And I said, I like this. But within 2 weeks or so, I got extremely sick of eggs. I can barely eat eggs now. I can eat them, but it's got to be, it's nowhere near how much I used to eat eggs. And so I said, well, let me just go into carnivore. And that's what I started doing from there. So I've lost, since then, a little over a year now, I've lost about 105 pounds. I hit a stall, here back in May sometime. I've hit a stall, and I've just been kind of going up and down, where a few pounds here and there. And so actually, it's been probably a little longer. I've been looking into the Lion diet. And so I started the Lion diet September 1st, and it's going pretty well. So that's as far as I can tell you on that one. But you just got to kind of watch the channel to learn a little more about how that's going. But it's going really well. I love it. And, that's basically right now, all I'm doing is having beef, salt, and water. That's it. That's all I'm eating now. And, eliminated the coffee that I was drinking, the pork. I missed the pork
belly. He's missing that, yeah.
And chicken, I took that out. Things like that. So now again, it's just beef, salt, and water. I'm eating 2 meals a day, and that's it. And then just a lot of water and salt. So far so good. It's going pretty well.
Cool. Yeah. So if anyone caught that, you're talking about the BBB&E diet, just to sort of explain to anyone that doesn't know. That's beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. Mm-hmm. So that's basically Dr. Berry calls it a sort of a reset diet to kind of reset your relationship with food kind of thing. I've never sort of myself, I don't do sort of diet specifically or different kinds of diets. I've found sort of what works for me, and I try and stick to what works for me, but I get it. I understand the value in doing things like triple B&E and the Lion diet and even carnivore, because I've gravitated more towards carnivore in the last year as well, which I think ultimately is for a lot of people that start on keto. A lot of people sort of move towards more of a meat heavy keto into carnivore over time as well. So, so you're saying the Lion diet is just that's just beef, salt, and water. That's all that consists of.
That is it. So I'll have my element 2 or 3 times with water. I'm putting the Redmond's salt, right?
Yep.
On the meat that I'm eating, and that's it. That's basically it. And then like I said, a lot of water.
He's doing the unflavored element too.
The unflavored element, yeah. That one's rough, but I'm starting. I don't know if you could get used to it, but it's that the September 1st was the first time I ever had the unflavored, and I was like, whoa. and so it took a couple of days to kind of get used to it, but now I'm drinking it normally. So like I was drinking the orange flavored one, so it's not a big deal.
Sure. Yeah, I drink Element every day as well, but I've never tried the raw flavor or the raw element before either. I can imagine like just even the flavored ones are, if you're not used to it, it's basically just like drinking seawater, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, and I can imagine the raw one is basically just like drinking salted water.
So, pretty much.
Yeah. But yeah, I find, because I gave up coffee about 2 months ago, more or less. Sometimes on the weekend I'll have 1 or 2, but I made a decision to replace the coffee with Element, and I've found that really helps. It's sort of replaced because the Element ultimately gives you that energy that you need during the day anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is awesome.
Yeah. So who else we got here? We got Scratch and Pete, someone else from community, and then Amy saying she loves Element but can't get used to the unflavored. Yeah, I
because I don't want that flavored sweetness like when I'm working out, and it works perfectly for that. So
yeah, like I wind up working outside a lot with my job, so it's great to when I'm driving to a job site or something, I drink 16 ounces of water with an Element in it, and it keeps me going for the day. So though it's one of those products that I'm happy to say that I would recommend for pretty much anyone.
I agree, definitely.
Yeah. So we got Rick from Twin Brook Acres is here as well. It's good to see you, Rick.
Hey, Rick.
So I know can't remember who you're with, but I guess Andy, we're gonna do a fast this week too, are you?
Yeah, we'll talk about that one as well tomorrow.
Yeah. Video coming out tomorrow. It's his follow-up video talking about how he's doing so far the first week. Yeah.
Listen, I'm telling you, I do fast You know, I'll do the longest I've ever fasted was 29 hours. But now normally I'll do about 16 to 20, right in there somewhere. It just depends on what's going on in the morning. But yeah,
Sure.
that's usually where I stay in that range. So, you know, I made a kind of a deal with Cindy and to do a 2-day. But yeah, we need to talk about that one. I'll have a video out tomorrow on how things are going.
Yeah. No, I'll look forward to that, because that's one of the things I've tried once to do more than just my regular daily intermittent fasting. And personally myself, the only thing I didn't like about it was just I got way too much energy from it. So
Wow.
like for myself, the first night that I fasted from dinner one night and then all the way through the next night, that night when I tried to sleep, I couldn't sleep because I had so much energy. It was
Interesting. That's what they
yeah.
in the live.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I had all intentions of doing it with them too. And then literally up until like that night when we were eating dinner right beforehand, I was like, no,
Yeah.
I don't like to intentionally fast. I've always been like, I'm going to eat when I'm hungry. If I can naturally do it, which I do, I usually don't eat until noon anyways. Sometimes it can be earlier. It just depends, but it's just not my thing. And I know it's got great health benefits and all of that, but I'm just not prepared to put myself through that.
Sure. Yeah. And I completely agree. It's one of those things that, and you've been around YouTube and Instagram and all that longer than I have in this journey. And I'm sure you've seen it where, people are just starting to change their lifestyle, just getting into keto or carnivore. And then the first thing they ask, should I fast too? It's like, my opinion is no.
Yeah.
You should just be eating as much as you want, making sure that you can learn how to be full, and then learn when you're hungry again. That's when you eat. And then it's a natural thing. Just like you say, if it's natural, then I don't have a problem with it. I think forcing fasting sometimes can be a little bit, I find a lot of people get too hung up on it and they try and do too much without.
First starting out, I feel like you're putting yourself through a lot there. You're already cutting out sugar. You're already cutting out like the processed carbs and stuff, just one step at a time.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. If you're just starting out, you need to learn how to properly nourish yourself too. And if you're fasting all the time, chances are you're not actually getting all of the nourishment you need on a daily basis. It's fine if you, like a lot of people do, alternate day fasting, where one day they don't eat, but then the next day they feast. They have to do that right too. So they need to make up for that day of fasting on the day that they're eating, which I don't know about you, but even myself, one meal a day is too hard to do. Like I don't like really doing that, because then I have to eat too much in too short of a window.
Window. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like today I had two ribeye this later in the morning, and I was so full, and I ended up having some ground beef later in the afternoon, about 4:30-ish, 5-ish, and I really just kind of forced myself to do it because I wanted to have that second meal, because I don't want to go that full length again of not eating, because I no matter what, I stop eating at 6. That's my cutoff. So I didn't want to go too much longer after that. So yeah, it's been, fasting just kind of comes along on its own. It really does. I was always hungry when I was on the old standard diet. I was always constantly hungry. But when I changed everything, like when we started the BBBE, within like 2, 3, 4 days, it was just kind of natural. I was like, I'm not even hungry. Yeah. And it kind of naturally just kind of took over, because the insulin levels are low and your body's not asking for those things. And, then it just kind of steadily progressed from there.
Sure. Yeah, no, I agree. It's one of those things where you have to learn your body over again, because we all we were all in the same boat. We spent most of our lives eating the way that we were told we're supposed to eat, and just always being hungry.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we change what we're eating. And, like you say, you can eat 2 ribeyes and probably not eat again till tomorrow, which is it's not, it's sort of something that's part of the mental part of the lifestyle change, I think, is trying to get your head wrapped around the fact that, if you know how to eat, you're not going to want to eat all the time.
Exactly. Yeah. My eating habits have changed so much.
Yeah.
It's not even funny. Where when we used to go out to eat and stuff, I mean, I would eat their leftovers. It's like, oh, you're not going to eat that, and I would eat it because it was just my body. I was always constantly hungry, and it's nowhere near that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, and that's a sort of a good topic I always like to talk about with people too, is how to handle those sort of times when you're going out to do, like, to restaurants or going to a party, or, we all have family things we go hang out with friends and all that. I'd like to find out, how would you guys sort of position yourself to be able to stay somewhat on plan if you have like a planned outing like that?
We avoid it at all costs.
Yeah. This is very true. We have not, I'll do the occasional go pick up a sub at Jersey Mike's or something, like sub in a bowl, I should say, sorry. Things like that, but he has not eaten out.
I did one time. It was I'd say a couple months ago, roughly, give or take. I had a business meeting I went to at a place, and I ended up picking it out because I said, look, there may be some things here that I think I can eat and not be tempted. And sure enough, when we got there, they had this, it was like a Brazilian bowl of meat, and that was it. And I said, I don't want any sides. Just give me that picture. The picture that was on the menu, that's what I want.
That's crazy.
And the guy's like, you sure it comes with all this other stuff? And I'm like, nope. I just want this. Yeah. And the 3 other people that I went with, they got pizzas, like personal pizzas. And I said, I just want this. And when they brought it out, I mean, it was a nice size portion of meat. And I ate maybe half of it, and I was like, wow, I'm full. I can eat this whole thing. And I brought the rest home, and I ate it the next day. So I feel like I've gotten over that hump of I can maybe go to places, but I don't want to risk it just yet. I'm not ready for that yet. I think when I get closer to my goal weight, and I'm in that area where I know I've been maintaining now for over a year, and I'm feeling so much better, then I think we can do that. And of course, we're going to be going on the road here in a few months anyway, so we're going to have to do these kinds of things. So I'm not going to feel that pressure or anything like that. And I, look over the menu enough, be pick and choose where we're going to go.
Yeah, and not afraid to ask them to make some changes for us too. But yeah, look ahead at the menus. Pick a place that's going to be, can kind of cater to you. So most places have meat. So if you just want meat and don't give the vegetables or the bread or whatever, and I'll eat the vegetables.
And it does catch people off guard. Like, what? You just want this? Like, I just want the meat portion, and that's it. And
it's a conversation starter too, though, man. I think he should have a before and after picture ready to go to really show people and say, this is why. This is why I eat only meat, and I'm off my blood pressure medicine. I'm, not pre-diabetic. Yeah.
Just hand them a card at the counter, just like, okay, here.
Sure. Here's why. Yeah. And it's funny. That sort of reminds me of, because I live close to a big city, but I live in a small town, and we have one diner in town that we like to, we usually order takeout, but we go there sometimes. And we've been going there since before I started keto. So they knew me pre-keto. Right. And then after a few years, they're like, like, you've lost so much weight and all this, like, and they said, well, how you do it? So, well, what do I order? And because basically I order pork chops, and the only other thing I order with it sometimes is just like vegetables, because I can still handle that. I don't get any of the soup or potatoes or dessert or anything. That's all I order every single time. And I said, well, that's how I do it. Right. So you're right. It would be nice if you could just hold up a picture,
Yeah.
this is why. So. Okay, well, let's get caught up here. Rushing Wind Mountain here saying, I'm supposed to be on a vegan diet, but my system just refused to handle it. Well, yeah, again, I don't talk bad about any diets personally. My system wouldn't handle it either. I would not. If I went vegan, I'd probably be really unhealthy within a couple of months, personally. Ron's Keto Cafe is here. He's saying hi to everyone. I think Ron had a question. Leela is in the house as well.
Hello.
I thought he had a question down here. Just trying to get through these here. Ron's asking, how far are you from your goal weight? I'm assuming
I'm 64
talking to you, Andy.
Yeah, I'm 64 pounds away. So I want to get to 200 by April of next year, which is our 30th wedding anniversary. So I want to be, that's how much I weighed 30 years ago when we got married. So I want to be there or just somewhere in that, just either right at 200 or just under by April of next year. So, and then my daughter's getting married. My youngest daughter's getting married in December. So I want to be around somewhere between, I don't know, 210, 220 in that range by December. Sure. So, but we'll see. Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm happy. It's been a drastic change. I'm happy. Even if I'm at 230 around that, I'm okay. It's not, I'm not going to be upset about it or anything. It's just, I know eventually it's going to be gone.
Yeah. Sure. And his body's changing too. It's not just, so even when we don't see stuff happening on the scale, we do take measurements, and he's still seeing some progress there. So his body is changing too. So that's, that's a plus. Non-scale victories are important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. That scale can be a real,
I hate it.
Yeah, a real bad. Like I say, when I had one until basically until a year into keto, I saw that 198 on the scale, and then I put it away, and sort of just started to learn how to be happy with what. Because what I realized at that point is when I got under 200 pounds, I was actually not where I should have been. Like I firmly believe that all of our bodies are going to regulate where we're supposed to be. Like I know we all have that goal. That was my goal too. I wanted to see that Wonderland number or whatever, but I think I still settled probably around 210 as well. So
I've noticed that with people, once they get all that weight lost and then they're kind of maintaining, they go up a little bit because maybe that's where their body should be. And that's why I didn't try to push going any lower with me either. And I've been staying steady. So yeah, I'm going to push it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like I say, the scale is such a mental thing, because like you say, that number on the scale at the end of the day, it really doesn't mean anything. It's how you feel, do you feel better? It's like overall. And then like you say, if you take measurements, the body recomposition takes time, and things, get back to where they're supposed to be, for sure.
Right.
Oh, what's Leela saying? When I was hardcore keto, I did 2 weeks Daniel fast, which was vegan and keto. That was tricky. Yeah.
That sounds tricky.
That sounds tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I know Thomas DeLauer has done, I think he did a whole series on vegan keto. It did not look easy. I don't know. Just hard to get the fats that you need, I think, in that kind of diet without, chugging olive oil or what.
Yeah.
Ron's saying, just hang in. We all know you'll get there.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think at the end of the day, it's about getting your health back, right?
It sure is.
Yeah.
Yep. Being around.
Yeah. What's he saying here? I'm 227. If I don't lose anymore, I'm fine with the 145-pound weight loss.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Congrats.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I say, and everyone's different too, right? Like, it's, if you don't feel good with where you're at on the scale, it's going to be really hard to mentally be happy with what you're doing, I guess. But that's why I don't really like the scale. I just go off of how I feel, and am I happy with myself in a mirror?
Right.
Not necessarily all the time, but we're getting there. What do you say? I mentioned to people, focus on your health, not so much the scale. Yep. Yeah. Because we have to heal ourselves before we can lose weight. So
yes.
He's definitely doing that.
Yeah. Together We Travel is here. You'll find I have a lot of people in the community that are sort of travel related. And I know you guys had mentioned you're going to be going on the road in an RV next year as well, or?
Yep. We'll be in January of 2024. We'll be on the road. So can't wait.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you going to do that full time for a little while, or are you going to?
We're doing it full. We're doing it full time. Yeah. We got those first couple of months. We're going to go stay in one specific place just to kind of learn how to live in it. If there's any renovations, we're going to have family there that can help us, with all those things. And then once it starts kind of warming up in the north side of things, so April-ish or whatever, then we'll start heading. I haven't really decided yet. I don't know if I want to start heading northbound or start going west. I don't know just yet which way we're going to go, but we're excited, anxious, nervous, you name it. We're all of those. Because we've never done something like this before, I mean, we've traveled and things like that. We've in our car and stuff, but then an RV, wow, it's going to be that's just going to be a whole different ball game for us. So we're super excited.
Learning how to live together.
Yeah, we like to be around each other.
We actually like to be around each other. So yeah.
I think that's probably a pretty good thing if you're going to be living in a box.
Yep.
And we started a channel on there too. It's called The Adventures of Hope and Andy RV Life.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to check it out, I mean, there's a couple of things that we've done in there, right? But we haven't started it, just yet because we don't have an RV yet. But here soon we're going to start really heavily looking into what we're going to buy. We already kind of know what we want. But now Hope kind of saw something different.
I saw something different and I liked it. It's actually smaller and less expensive.
She's got a good point. I mean, her side of things is like, I want a Class C. But she's like, I don't think I'm going to feel comfortable driving that plus towing our car.
Yeah, it's big.
So, because, I'm going to drive most of the time, but there might be a time that she might have to drive.
Sure.
So I'm like, okay. So then she saw a Class B recently that, did you see it on Matt's RV reviews?
Yeah.
She saw it on Matt's RV reviews, and I was like, you know what? That one's not bad. And I liked that it was a little smaller. It's not going to be as difficult to driving around and getting into places and stuff.
And the bed was the big thing. Most Class Bs, I know this is an RV channel, but most Class Bs have a Murphy bed, and we don't want that. This bed was way in the back still, and that is what drew me to it. So.
That's cool.
A lot of planning to do so, but we're super excited. And and going back to the weight stuff, there's no way I would have been able to do this at 300 and something pounds. There's no way, because there's a lot of things that you have to do. There's a lot of maintenance and things like that. You may have to get up on top of the RV to fix the solar panel or the air conditioner or whatever the case may be.
Wi-Fi,
and there's no way I would have been able to do that at 300 plus. So, and extremely out of shape. Now that I've been losing this, all those things are going to be a lot easier for me to accomplish.
Absolutely. It's a completely, you're right. Like making that change can, helping a lot of other
Mm-hmm.
things too. Like, I don't know, before I was keto and when I was overweight, there was, doing things like even doing YouTube and stuff like that was just never on my mind. I was sort of just floating along, not really doing anything. I was going to work and I was coming home, and now I'm more interested in doing more things because I feel better most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, that's cool. Like, as far as the RV stuff goes, you would be surprised, or it would blow your mind how much RV content I watch. I've been watching it for years. I watch reviews. I watch like full-time RVing channels, and I've watched some of them that have been on for 4 years. I watched them right from day one till now and seen their progression. The one thing I've noticed with basically all of them is that they're the same way. They start off with what they think is going to work. And then 2 years later, then once they've learned what works and what doesn't work, then they find something that's
Exactly.
is more suitable. And like some of these channels I watch, they're changing RVs like sometimes every year. So,
I've seen that as well, and they'll have that massive one, and then all of a sudden you start seeing them either downsizing, or they'll get a fifth wheel or whatever, they'll change. And like, we didn't realize we didn't need that much space, and
Sure.
downsizing. So yeah, it's going to be a neat experience. We're super excited about it.
Sure. Leela's saying that's cool. I'm in an RV full time, but not on the road. Ideally, I'd like to find land and build a homestead. Cool. Yeah, it's
cool.
There's a lot of people out there. I think it's more and more every day these days. People are, because of the ability to work on the road and be able to support yourself on the road. A lot of people are just ditching. They may have a homestead that they can go back to sometimes, but they're not. They're just moving everything into an RV and hitting the road.
Yeah.
Eventually I want to get like a travel trailer or something. I don't see us ever being full-time travelers, but I'd like to get into some weekend stuff for sure.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we stay caught up here.
Yeah, everybody is.
So we've got both. Yeah. Leila's saying, make sure you pick an ideal floor plan that works for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And again, the problem too, though, is like, and it's the same with anything else. You can study it and you can research it, but until you actually get into it, like you say, I think you're making a good decision there to sort of plant yourself for a couple of months, get the hang of it, learn it, figure out if you need to change anything before you're on the road, because, making changes when you're on the road would just be more complicated.
And our goal is to, I know we're going to live in it, but is to be outside more and to be doing more things outside. So, kind of have a nice little kitchen, but we're going to barbecue outside more and, things like that. So the goal is to be doing more and experiencing more. So
for sure.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Ron saying he went back to school this week. He's doing like I think it's a media course. So
good for you.
Ron's going backwards, man. Ron's
yeah.
Going back to college. My goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. Rick saying a 19-foot Classic C might be good for you. Yeah. Like I say, everybody's got different requirements for stuff like that too. Like I don't need much. I just don't want to sleep on the ground, and so who else we got? Granny from Granny Filming again is here. It's good to see you. Just want to make sure we're not missing anything else. Everyone's saying hello. April Showers is here. And what's Ron saying? Film and media production, 2-year degree.
Very nice.
So that'll come
with the YouTube channel, right?
Yep, for sure. It's I'd like to get into more sort of formal training on stuff like this too at some point, but it's kind of difficult trying to balance a full-time job and do this and spend time with the family and all that. So
Yep.
But we'll get there eventually. The channel here, we just hit 1,000 subscribers last week. So
Congrats.
That's
That's awesome.
awesome. Congratulations.
so it's only about 2,000 hours short of watch time, but
Okay.
you know, that'll come eventually.
I remember when we were there.
Oh
It
my
was,
God.
Yeah.
I mean,
Every computer in the house.
every computer in the
has
house,
some
running
stuff
it,
going.
just watching it,
Yep.
calling family.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just,
Well, the one thing I've been doing this week is because I'm going to go to Keto Palooza in Kentucky next month.
Yeah.
I think it's the beginning of next month. So I just did something fun, and I put together a countdown timer for when the convention starts, and I've been live streaming that basically 24 hours a day this week. So
Oh, cool.
nice.
you know,
Good idea.
it's probably really boring for a lot of people, but it's been getting me 50, 60 hours a day.
Oh,
just
wow,
for-
that's good.
And it's just a silent live stream. I'm not really there. I pop in once in a while and comment, but
Yeah.
So
Good idea.
again, yeah, we have to do what we have to do, and that's why there's a lot of people in here like Granny and Leela that I've networked with over the last few months, getting to know other creators that can help with building a channel. So
Awesome.
Hi, Granny.
yeah. Yeah, Granny and Leela, they both do fun videos. They'll tell you that they're amateurs as far as the actual production goes, but they always have fun videos to put out for sure.
That's cool.
28-footer. Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then Ron's saying he's at 9:35. Yeah, he was on Anita's channel there last Sunday or something.
Yep.
They did a live stream there. I'm interviewing Anita on Tuesday.
Oh, that's cool. I love her.
Yeah, it's Tuesday, so I don't know if I'll get that out next week, but I'm going to do like a podcast episode with her as well. So
very cool. Yeah.
So it'd be nice to get to know her. She's a fellow Canadian, I guess. So
Yeah.
I don't know why I wasn't connected with her before. I guess you don't get connected with every keto channel out there, but
there's a lot of them out there.
There's so many out there that we don't know about, and people don't know about us, and that's why this is good to get your story out, and yeah, that's awesome.
Sure. Yeah. And that's why I do the podcast episodes, is so that we can all get to know each other, and we can all support each other, and we can all help people that need that information out there.
Absolutely.
For sure. So we're sort of caught up on comments there. So what about sort of, do you both do, like, Hope, you're saying you work out, Andy, do you do any specific workouts, or is it sort of just like moving each day? And
yeah, I don't like working out. I find it extremely boring. I'm more of like doing things like mowing the lawn or yard work, washing cars, cleaning out the garage, stuff like that. Like just everyday moving, vacuuming, stuff like that. I like doing those kinds of things, where I find like just going for a walk or lifting weights or anything like that, or, just, I find it extremely boring. My mind is constantly, I'm a major overthinker. And when I'm walking and stuff like that, I'm not focused on what I'm walking. I'm focused on other things. So it kind of drives me a little crazy. So that's why I do other stuff, and it keeps me busy. They're just kind of busy work. And I get just as much, if not more sometimes, because mowing the lawn here in Florida
this summer for sure.
Let me tell you, it's, it can wear you out pretty quickly. So, and pushing the mower too, that really gives you a good workout. So that's how I do things, but Hope's more she does the workout kind of stuff.
Yeah, I guess it's sort of what works best for you too. Like, you're right. If you're, forced into working out, I don't like it either. I've done it before, and I'm the same way as you. I just try and, luckily my job keeps me pretty mobile during the day. I don't have to sit at a desk or anything. I run cables in buildings and climb ladders all day. So I'm easily doing, I'm moving basically 8 hours a day anyways. So, but yeah, mowing the lawn or, building things and just doing stuff around the house. I finish my whole basement and build a bathroom. Just keep yourself busy. Like you say, I think that's just as good as, going to a gym. Now, so a lot of people really enjoy that part too, which is great too. But, I'm the same as you. I don't, I can't, I don't have the patience for stuff like that. So, I probably should lift more weight, but I've got resistance bands that I might start using for that kind of stuff. But it's just the commitment to doing it. I guess it's just like anything else. If you really want to do it, you just have to start doing it and then make it a habit, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah. Rick's saying I'm the same way. Workouts are boring, so I work hard around my property, and I've parked my tractor and power tools and use my body. Yeah. So yeah, that's a good way to do it. If you're, if what you do around the house is, like you say, all you have to do is move every day. There's just so many, I had lots of years where I sat at a desk staring at a computer all day too. It's not healthy for any of us, really.
It is not.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now, of course, I work all day and then I just come home and stare at a computer. You can never get away from it.
You gotta get those views.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we're all, there's a bunch of us, because I know, Hungry Heath, like Shelly and Heath. They're another keto channel that, they do a live stream every Friday night, basically, and they've got a pretty big community. So we've started doing like monthly collab videos.
Oh, cool.
With them. So this month, and I have to get my button gear and do my videos. We were doing healthy back to school lunches as the theme for the video. So there's about 10 channels posting this week, kind of thing. So
cool.
Again, it's just trying to get into something that's a little more consistent for the channel and, come up with some fun ideas for the keto community.
Everybody collabing and getting their name out. That's good.
Yep, for sure. Maybe looking for some help with finishing the website on a small budget. Yeah, there's tons of people out there for sure. With my channel, there's a lot of things I'd like to try and get into making a little more professional, but if you're not making any money, it's kind of hard to justify spending very much on it.
Yeah, that's why social media. I mean, if you just do Instagram, build a Facebook page, and even Twitter can be okay. But really, if you really build through Instagram and Facebook and build a private group in Facebook, that's where you could just kind of build from there.
Sure. Yeah. The Facebook ones.
We don't.
What's that?
We don't have a website.
Right. Yeah.
We just use
Facebook's the one sort of part of it I haven't done yet. Instagram, I've been on Instagram. I started Instagram when I started keto. So that was like 2 years before I even started YouTube. And that's back when keto really sort of hit on Instagram.
Yeah.
So, I wound up with 5,000 followers there and
that's awesome.
6 months. Right. I'm like, hey, I'm going to start a YouTube channel and I've got all these followers already. And I'm like, nope.
Well, that's how I am on Instagram. I think I have 1,800. Here we are with 10,000 on the YouTube. So it's funny.
Just a warning out there to everybody. Just because you have a following on one part doesn't mean it's going to happen on the other. Like people on Instagram, I find most of them aren't. A lot of people there aren't going to watch videos. They're into reels and stuff like that. And I'm so busy trying to build the YouTube channel that I don't have time to make reels along with it. So
yeah, but you do shorts, and what you should do is put your short just do that same short and pop it on a reel. I do that with my TikToks. I'll do a TikTok, and once that's downloaded to my phone, that one goes up to my shorts and to my reels. So it's just a way to get
Yeah, it's when I do my shorts though, it's directly through the YouTube app. I don't make videos. I just open my YouTube app and then I use their actual short. Now that I'm actually exploring using a editing app on my phone so that I can record clips and turn them into shorts, right? And do a bit more professional job with it. Because the other part to it is, you know, especially with what you create through the app, it's the audio that gets you sometimes, right? Like if you're just doing talking head stuff, well, then that's fine. It's just original audio. But if you're using music from one of these apps to the other, like some background music, a lot of them aren't licensed and you get flagged, and it's just, we all know about that, right? So
Yeah.
What's Leela saying here? I like to work out outside, walking, hiking. I don't like being cooped up in the gym, but joining a rec center for colder months because of the RV and space. Yeah, makes sense. Like you say, you just got to do what you got to do, right?
Yeah.
To keep moving. And we've got Hyla here. Karnavish. Yeah. Another longtime friend here. She's got a great podcast episode as well on the channel. I think Hyla hit her 1K on her carnivorous channel too.
Nice.
She's hit her. I can't remember how many, but she's definitely over 10,000 on her crafting channel now too. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
She's rocking it.
Yep. Shelly and Heath are so down to earth and fun to watch. Yeah. Like I say, they've got a live stream they do every Friday night. They start at 7:30 my time, and I've never been able to stay up to see the end of it. It's just, well, they do a live cook every week. Basically, they have a recipe they do every week. And there's usually a lot of people in there having fun. And then after they're done eating, they just hang out and talk for 2 or 3 hours. So.
My goodness.
Yeah.
It happens though. Time just gets away from you sometimes when you're doing
it. For sure.
That's funny.
Either do you have tips on how to get going on Facebook and Instagram? Facebook, I really don't know. Like I say, I think Facebook is, like you say, it's just a matter of starting a private group and then sort of putting it out there on anything that is, you know, coming on here saying, hey, I've got this group. If you want, come join. It's free. You know, it's really not that hard to do. It's just I haven't gotten around to doing the Facebook part. Instagram's a little tough these days, I think. Like I say, when I started using Instagram about 4 years ago, it was actually really easy to get, or at least in the keto community, it was really easy to get followers back then.
Yeah.
But then they've changed the algorithm on Instagram so much in the last year that, because it's not about pictures anymore.
Yeah.
It's all about reels, right? It's all about stories. So it's hard to, you know, I got over 5,000 followers and it just keeps going down all the time now. So, but I don't spend a ton of time on it anymore as a creator. You know, I find myself getting sucked into reels all the time, but I noticed doing carnivore for the last 4 days. I'm no longer bloated, feeling good. Keto. Yeah. Yeah. Well, when you eliminate anything that might be causing things like bloat and that, it's, it can definitely make a change. You know, like I did a video last Saturday. This week, I've started incorporated some fermented foods into my diet too, to try and help heal some gut issues that I have. And I won't get into details because I'm going to do weekly updates on that as well. But let's just say some of them, they're no bueno. They're not going good. So,
gosh.
It's one of those things you just got to try it, right? So, I usually delete the app music and use shorts music. Never the same unless you can find the same song. Yeah. There's definitely a lot of different music on the apps that you can use.
Yeah.
You know, like if you've seen my apps, it's like 5 seconds of what I'm grilling with some kind of song on it. Right. But at least it's songs that everybody knows. Right.
Right.
It's not it's not that generic stuff that you pull off the audio library. So, and I was paying for a music service. Like I had Epidemic Sound for a while, but I didn't find for what it cost that it was worth continuing with that. Who else we got here? Legal Minded Friends, Karen Cole. Yeah, Karen is another creator.
England, that's so cool.
That's cool.
England. Yeah. Well, I guess it's only 8:30 here, but it still must be pretty late for you guys over there.
Wow.
Another creator I found from a channel that I frequent that's a sort of a community channel. It's just called Tuber Chat. So just where all the creators go just to get to know each other, and he features channels on his channel. So that's where a lot of these people have come from. That's what I did. Create a new page as a group. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a private group too, so you have to ask to get in because we want to make sure that it's, a safe space for people and all of that. But that's the only thing I use the Facebook for, is for that group. I'm not really on it otherwise.
Yeah, I only use Facebook for the keto groups that I'm part of.
Yeah.
I really got like that close to deleting it at one point, but I basically just unfollowed everything and then just follow sort of what I want, because I was tired of seeing all the crap that comes flowing through your feed, right? What's Karen saying? Find what does well on Instagram doesn't do well on Facebook.
Yeah, it's weird. That goes the same with even TikTok and YouTube and the Instagram reels. Like I will have one that I have a meal prep video on TikTok that is killing it right now. I mean, people are still, and it's been like 3 weeks, and I maybe got 400 views on Instagram. Real. So I'm like, it's this different people, I guess.
Yeah. And you're right. And like even YouTube Shorts has changed a lot since they monetized it. I think that's sort of when things changed. In that first year when they were testing it out, that was just a free for all. And then basically anything you posted almost would get thousands of views, and then they monetized it, and things, you were stuck with 25 views, or, I've had some that got 0 views, and it's like,
or it'll go up really fast and then just stop.
Yeah. Well, that's what most of mine do now. Like I found the one thing I found is in any shorts that I've done recently, because I used to do like a longer shorts, like I'd use up a lot of the minute and they wouldn't get any views whatsoever. Now I try and keep it 5 to 7 seconds.
Yeah.
At the most. And now I have some that are getting 4,000 views.
Good.
Which is great. The better thing about it, though, when you look at the analytics, is it's basically getting over 100% view time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
More often than not, people are watching it more than once, which is, as we all know, that's what YouTube wants, right? So, but again, it's so up and down. You just never know. So,
that's for sure.
Karen saying keto rocks. It does for sure.
Yes.
Everyone's saying hi there. Now, have you ever, I don't know if you've come across Chris Cooking Nashville yet?
Yeah,
I've heard
his channel.
Yeah. He's hit the YouTube ground running with his recipes and everything. Like he's made that butter mayo and made that. He took original recipes and made it better, and then he's making all sorts of different carnivore and keto things. So that's another someone else I'm trying to line up to come on a live stream as well. But, eventually. So so what got a few minutes left here, so I guess like what's sort of on the horizon for both of you, as far like we know your next year is going to be a big change as far as your travels and all that, but it's, I'm assuming at this point, you don't have any plans of ever sort of going back to any different diets from here?
No. I mean, I think about this. Actually, I was talking to my mom about it not too long ago, and I'm like, I'm not in my 20s anymore where I can just go, okay, well, I'm going to go back to the standard diet American diet. I'm 52 now. I can't change now and go back to eating what I used to eat, because I think at this point in my life, I mean, it's going to cut it short, So I want to be around for a while. So I'm for me. And now, am I saying that? Will I never ever have a piece of pizza again or something like that? No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, I'm not going to have a large piece of a large pizza, or mozzarella sticks, things like that. I might have a bite or two of something like that, but just leave it as is. I just know, I just know what it brings. I've done it before, where I've lost a lot of weight, and then I'm like, you know what, man, I need to treat myself to something, and I'll have that pizza or French fries or something like that, something that I miss. And then I'll see how I feel that next day. And if I'm not feeling bad and I weigh myself and I didn't gain any weight, I'm like, okay, but it didn't affect me. So now I go to that next step, and then it just kind of snowballs from there. So I'm not doing that again. I don't honestly don't think my body would be able to take it. I think even now, have gone for over a year, to go change again that drastic. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't think I'd be around much longer.
Sure.
So I want to be around for a long time.
Yeah. And I think that, again, I'm exactly the same way, and that's why, to this point at least, like over 4.5 years in, like I've not once had a cheat meal or planned to have a cheat meal or done any of that stuff, because I'm in the same way. I know I could probably go off plan for a day and not feel too bad about it. But in my head, that turns into the next week. I'm like, hey, I did this last week and, I didn't feel too bad. Maybe I can do it again this week. And then, then you're doing it 3 days later, and, before you know it, you're right back into the old habits. And I think it comes down to being able to understand what kind of person are you? Are you someone who's better with, just eliminating everything and not tempting yourself, or can you moderate? Which, I don't personally think a lot of people can actually do that. I know a lot of people say they can, but I'm not sure that many people can actually say, oh yeah, well, I'm just going to have one chip. That's not me for sure.
Yeah.
And there goes the bad.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, we're going to be very careful when we get on the road, of course. But when I get down to that weight and we're maintaining, I want to, if we're in Memphis, Tennessee, that has amazing barbecue there. If I want to have a little bit there while I'm there, I don't want to not miss an experience like that. But just be very careful in that. But that's a long way away. I'm not, right now it's just, let me get to where I'm at. And then, if I keep going under, the 200 and I just keep going into the one somethings, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But, we'll see. We'll see how it all goes.
Yeah. Well, we'll all be here for the updates as they come. So, and then I'm I'm already subscribed to the RV channel too. So
awesome.
I'd forgotten about that channel. I'll put a link to that down in the description after we're done here too, so everyone can check that out. So, okay, well, blown through another hour here really quick. So it's been great to get to know you, Andy, and talk to you again, Hope. I don't know. Haven't seen any other questions here that we're missing. Amy's just saying Chris is amazing. Yeah, I don't know where he comes up with some of these recipes, but it's another level from what I've seen for a long time. So, food is an addiction for some of us. Yep.
100%.
Once you can, if you can, honestly say that most of us are carb addicts, then, that's the first step of fixing it.
Yep.
So.
Agreed.
Okay. Well, that's, unless you guys have anything else to add to the conversation for tonight,
no, we just want to thank you for having us. And it was nice to see a lot of new faces, names in the chat. So we appreciate you guys joining and learning a little bit more about us too. And it was good to hear some of your guys's input and stories too. So we appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, we'll a lot of people, or some of them, will have gone over to Joe and Rachel's channel there for their live stream. But yeah, we'll wrap it up there, and maybe in another few months, and before you go on the road, kind of thing, we can do another one and get caught up and see where everyone's at.
Yeah,
so,
that would be awesome. I
That
really
sounds
appreciate
great.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, we'll end the stream here. If you guys want to hang on just for a second there,
Okay.
I'm gonna end this.
Bye, guys.